Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second shelf. And on this Wednesday, I thought it's the beginning of a new year, best time ever to discover new booktubers. So I want to do a Booktuber ShoutOut. I picked 10 booktubers that I watched regularly last year. They all have under 1,000 subscribers, and they all deserve a lot more than 1,000. I also only picked booktubers who uploaded regularly last year, so not, like 3 months ago. And I had to make a choice. There are many more than those 10, and I'll probably do a second round of the shout out. So if you are a booktuber and you are under 500 or under 1,000 subscribers and you're not in the list, I'm very sorry, but I will probably include you in the next one or the one thereafter. But for now, 10 booktubers that I really love and that I hope you will check out and subscribe to. And the first one is Bookish from Totally Pretentious. I will always leave a picture up here. Most of the time, it's just, the profile picture I could find on their YouTube channel. I hope that's okay with the booktubers, by the way. But anyway, so Bookish from Totally Pretentious. And he is anything but pretentious. There's not much personal information on his channel, so I'm not sure where he is located, but from his accent, I think he's American. But Bookish, if that's not true, please correct me down in the comments. Bookish reads a lot of classics, but also literary fiction, memoirs, non-fiction, and he has his very own take on the books. He also does poetry, sometimes tag videos, and he is not, like most of the ones that I picked, he's not a mainstream booktuber in the sense that you will see the same books that you see everywhere on his channel. So if you want to discover something new, and again, that's for all the booktubers that I'm shouting out here, and if you are interested, especially interested in literary fiction, memoir, and classics, then go check out Bookish. The next booktuber, the second one, is Kazan from Always Doing. Kazan is relatively new to booktube. I think she started her channel about 4 months ago or something. She is an American booktuber but living in Japan, in Tokyo, like Sean, who's Canadian and lives in Tokyo. I don't know why I said like, because he's Canadian, she's American. Anyway, Kazan. She's a really sparkly, friendly personality. She does book hauls and wrap-ups, but also readathons and tag videos. And she has this, quiet way of talking about books that I personally really like. I can't quite say anything about her bookish taste yet because she's relatively new, but I like the way she presents herself, very naturally, very friendly, and very charming. So Kazan from Always Doing. The third booktuber I want to give a shout out to is Robert from Barter Hordes. Robert is an American booktuber. He's retired or semi-retired, as he calls himself, academic. He used to teach literature, and he reads quite a wide variety of books. Literary fiction, I think, is his main focus, and non-fiction. He also reads classics. He organizes his own sort of topics video, like he's currently reading a pile of books on death. So if you are interested in this kind of, own readathon thing, he's also the one who organizes the first ever Booktube Prize for literary fiction this year, in which I'm participating as a judge. So I think that's a fantastic initiative. He does regular Friday reads. He doesn't do wrap-ups or TBRs. I don't think TBRs either, maybe sometimes. Sorry, Robert, I should have checked that better. But Friday is certainly his fixture with Friday reads, and then also with his organized readathons, like the books about death. He has a Goodreads group for recovering the classics, where he reads mostly classics. So if you're interested in this type of book, you should certainly check out Robert. Oh, and by the way, he just had his 1-year anniversary in end of December on Booktube. And most importantly, I should have said that right away, he has a new dog, Scout, who is just adorable. The next one is Charlotte from Tired Mama Tries to Read. Also relatively new booktuber. I think she started last year. She's a British booktuber who has this shed where she films her book and booktube shed. I just love that. And she is such a sparkling personality and so enthusiastic about the books she reads that you don't see that she is actually a tired mama who tries to read. She does TBRs and wrap-ups, review videos. She reads a lot of literary fiction, but also non-fiction and translated fiction. I think she worked in the book world, I think in a bookstore, if I'm not mistaken. So she has her very personal view on books, of course, but she has this professional background, and you can feel that when she talks about books, that she just knows what she is talking about. I love her channel once I discovered it last year, and I watch it religiously. Then the next booktuber I absolutely want to shout out is Conrad from 7 Days at Sea. Now, this is a bit weird to shout out Conrad because I think he has been on YouTube for a very, very long time. But he took a break, I think 2 years back or something, for quite some time. And he only came back not that long ago, last year. And I think a lot of people who were subscribed to him and love his channel don't know that he's back. So that's why I think he deserves a shout out. Conrad is an American booktuber as well. He does mostly in-depth reviews, and they are just absolutely fabulous to watch, especially if you don't agree with him. He's always engaging in the comments if you want to talk to him about the books. He also does, I think it's a new feature about comics, because he also reads comics. He sometimes talks about movies and films as well, and I think he does the best discussion videos on Booktube. I'm really happy that he's back, and I think it's a shame that obviously so many people and so many of his old subscribers don't realize that he's back. So go check out, or be happy that he's back if you know him from before, and subscribe to his channel. Number 6 shout out goes to a South African booktuber, Ross, from A Journey Through Books. Ross' channel is also relatively new. She started, I think, in the summer 2017. She's an English teacher, a high school teacher, if I'm not mistaken. She reads across a variety of genres, mysteries, fantasy, historical fiction, literary fiction, and she has this very, soothing quality to her videos. It's just such a pleasure to listen to her and watch her. I may be biased because I just love the South African English accent. Yeah, but that's just me. But like I said, she reads through a variety of genres. She does regular wrap-ups and Friday reads, but she also participates in readathons on booktubes like ShakeTube, where you read Shakespeare plays. She makes videos about that. I love her. She is such has such a lovely personality on Booktube, and I think you should all go and check her out. On to number 7, and that is Rick from Another Book Vlog. Rick is a Canadian booktuber who started his channel about half a year ago, but he had a book blog before. Is that right, Rick? Did I get that right? Well, there's always the comment section to correct me if my shout-outs are wrong. He does mostly reviews, And also, he has a regular feature which he started right away when he opened his channel, a read along of the 125 books you have to read. I love that feature. He also has a wonderful regular feature. It's called Book Headlines, where he goes through, magazines, but also online articles about books, and he lists them for us. So he's my go-to guy every time when he does that video, and then I get all, the relevant articles and internet stuff about books. That's really great. I love his opinion. He is not afraid to be opinionated, to love books to love books other people hate, or to hate books that Booktube just loves. And I really appreciate that. People who, are not afraid to voice their opinion and to engage in discussions with you if you disagree with them. So I think that that's something that Booktube needs more of. So if that appeals to you, go check out Rick from Another Book Vlog. I, by the way, just realized that often when I said somebody started a channel last year, it was probably 2017. I have to get used to the fact that it's 2019. So take all the last year stuff with a grain of salt. But anyway, on to booktuber number 8, and that is Nashua, or Nashua S. Nashua is a Pakistani booktuber. She lives in Islamabad, and she started her channel the summer of 2017. And she is probably the funniest booktuber that I know. It's her videos are just so hilarious. She has such a good sense of humor also about herself that it always cracks me up to listen to her. She reads literary fiction, but also a lot of nonfiction, which I really appreciate, because nonfiction is something that a lot of booktubers don't feature that often, so that is great. She does hauls and review videos, but also wrap-ups. But I think the pleasure you get from watching her is mainly because of her humor. I think she is fantastic, and I cannot for the life of me understand why she doesn't have at least 10,000 subscribers. So please go and check out Nashua. Shout out for booktuber number 9, and that is Brian from Bookish. Brian started his channel about half a year ago. If you want to know about him, watch his introduction video from, I think, 5 months or so ago. He's an American booktuber who does book reviews. I think the first video I watched from him was a review of Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, and I got hooked to his channel ever since. He, like I said, does reviews, but also talks about the books that he wants to read. He participates in readathons. He also does tag videos. And I just love his quiet and thoughtful way in which he talks about books. And I also love that he really engages with his audience, not only in his own comment fields where he talks about his viewers about the books, but he's also one of the regular commentators on other people's videos, which I really love, because not all the booktubers do that. I mean, they do their own stuff and their own videos, and they react to their own comments, but not all of them engage in the comment fields of other booktubers. So I really, really appreciate that. He says of himself that he has a peculiar or particular taste. I'm not sure whether that's true, but I really love the way he is. You can feel that he loves books when you watch his videos. So he's definitely worth checking out. Brian from Bookish. And then number 10, last but certainly not least, is Michelle from Challenge Thy Shelf. I think one of the best names of a booktube channel I've ever heard. And Michelle's channel is about a year old, I think a little more than a year. And apart from the fantastic name, she has a very stylish approach to booktube that I really love. She plays with various of styles and tries new stuff. I think her videos are beautiful. I mean, and so is she. Let's be honest. But she also talks really eloquently about books. She does regular features like weekly reads or Friday reads. She also does in-depth reviews. She participated last year in Litmus and did really wonderful videos on the Litmus challenges. And it's just such a pleasure to watch her. She's almost at 1,000 subscribers. I think it's 335 or something. So I hope that a shout out like this could push her up to over 1,000, because she definitely deserves it. I said 335 or something with Michelle's channel. It's 935, of course, if she is close to 1,000. Anyway, sorry about that, Michelle. I just dropped your subscriber count by 600. And then I have an honorable mention, and that is Jacqueline from 6 Minutes for Me. She is an Australian booktuber living in Texas, and when I first thought about this video, I included her in my 10, but she reached 1,000 subscribers just around Christmas, so that is fantastic. But I still think I should mention her because I really love her channel, and she deserves, of course, more than 1,000. So anyway, these were my 10 plus an honorable mention booktubers for the shout out. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you will check out all these 11 booktubers and will love them as much as I do. Talk to me down in the comments as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.